What is up, guys? Welcome back to another What If on this channel. Anyways, let's jump into it with a retcon of the last part. It's gonna be a very small retcon, not too drastic of a retcon, but yeah, the retcon will be that instead of Goten going alone to go train with Beerus, Piccolo comes with him. So, you know, I kind of want to make Piccolo a little more relevant in this What If, since I haven't really done much with him, you know, in terms of vlog. I mean, he did do a little bit in part 8, but yeah, I want to make him just a bit more relevant, and thus everybody's training begins. So during the 4 months of training, Goten achieves Super Saiyan Blue, obviously. Piccolo learns how to use God Ki, you know, so you know, he's a bit stronger than in canon, or a lot stronger in canon. I say that, you know, he would learn how to use it more effectively than Goten would, since, you know, he's not training to, you know, train up a different form. It's just him and his base with God Ki, so he'd be able to use it a bit more effectively than Goten. Vegeta and Junior would spend their time with the Supreme Kai. You know, Vegeta's trying to learn how to perfect his ultimate form, make himself stronger. Junior still traditionally trains, but at the same time, he's trying to learn the Kai, you know, basically instant transmission before the Supreme Kais. Since I don't know whether all of Cell's techniques transferred over to Cell Junior, that's a good way to get Cell Junior with instant transmission, except with Kai. So, just like in the original timeline, the newly revived Frieza lands on Earth, you know, when everybody else seems to be, you know, gone. Anyone who can oppose him is off planet, and most of the Frieza soldiers are pretty much gotten rid of thanks to Nappa being around in this timeline. So yeah, it seems pretty easy for them. Nappa in his Super Saiyan form can even hold off to Goma and Shishimi. But as Nappa's teaching these youngsters a lesson, and you know, don't fuck with us, he gets shot through the chest because of Sorbet. I think Sorbet would do this because I don't think he'd want to see his top men, get defeated by, you know, a dirty freaking Saiyan. So because Nappa gets shot through the heart, he falls to the floor. As Nappa tries to get up, a frog appears in front of him, and it spells out something in the dirt. Change now! Well, that's right, Ginyu has made his comeback. But to Goma not knowing what just happened, he squishes the frog with his foot. As Shishimi kicks Ginyu away, and the Z fighters go pick him up and give him a senzu bean because they think it's their old buddy Nappa. Gohan tries to help the elderly Saiyan up, but he is met with a fist to the face. Ginyu then gets up and announces that he is Captain Ginyu of the Ginyu Force, and he has made his comeback. After giving his story to Frieza on how he survived Namek, he then turns his attention to the Earthlings with Tagoma and Shishimi. And oh boy, do they wreck the Z fighters. The last one standing is Gohan, and he is barely able to stand. Ginyu, knowing that Gohan is on his last legs, moves to finish him off. But just in the nick of time, he is punched in the gut by Vegeta. As the quintet of fighters finally show up, Gohan falls over in exhaustion. But he is quickly caught by Goten, saying to Gohan, "I'm sorry I wasn't able to arrive on time, but you fought great. Now get some rest." Goten then hands him over to Cell Jr., and he pretty much tells him to take him and the humans to Korn's tower, you know, to get them some beans. And Cell Jr. pretty much starts arguing with him that, you know, he wants to stay and fight that really strong guy, you know, Frieza. He doesn't want to be, you know, an ambulance. Meanwhile, while they fight, Vegeta pretty much ignores them and goes off to challenge Frieza as soon as they got there. You know, Frieza questions, "Oh, where's Goku? I want to fight Goku, not Vegeta, the Prince of Nothing." Vegeta pretty much just tells him that Goku's been dead for a long time and he ain't coming back. But they don't need Goku to pretty much stop Frieza, as Vegeta can do it himself. He's a strong, independent Saiyan who need no Kakarot. I think that's the cringiest thing I've said throughout these videos, so let's just continue. Piccolo pretty much just turns his attention to any remaining Frieza soldiers and pretty much goes off to attack them. The fight with Frieza and Vegeta pretty much starts off with, you know, Frieza in his final form and Vegeta in his Super Saiyan form. And then Vegeta, trying to, show off to Frieza, shows off his Super Saiyan 2 form. So, oh, Frieza, you gotta be scared now. But Frieza's like, nah, man, here's my golden form. The fight would obviously be in Frieza's favor, as Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta isn't enough. So he decides to go Ultimate, to which Frieza's actually surprised that, Vegeta isn't using Super Saiyan. He's gone back to his base form. And as their fight continues, Vegeta does figure out that, the golden form, Frieza's golden form, drains too much energy, just like in canon. However, Vegeta's not fast enough to dodge his attacks and gets decimated. This does mean that Goten has to step in and pretty much save Vegeta with Super Saiyan Blue. And I do think that he would be able to hold his own against, golden form Frieza. At least, not die. It does take Goten a little longer than what it would take Goku to, pretty much take Frieza out of his golden form, which effectively leaves Frieza defenseless against Goten. Goten pretty much stands over Frieza, and he pretty much tells him that all those years ago when he killed Krillin and nearly killed Yamcha, he already had sealed his fate. It's too bad Frieza isn't fighting his father, because maybe then his father would let him go. But Goten is not as merciful as Goku will be. Meanwhile, Piccolo has pretty much no problem taking out Ginyu, Togoma, and Shishimi. And, Junior finally arrives from pretty much taking the kids, the humans, to Corn's tower. He becomes really upset that, he missed out on all the fighting. Frieza's pretty much being taken care of by Goten. The Ginyu, Togoma, and Shishimi have been taken care of by Piccolo, and Vegeta's on the floor. But as Junior watches the speech Goten's giving, he notices a little blue man with a ring taking aim at Goten. He quickly teleports over, grabbing the man's hand, telling him no outside help. That's cheating, as he blasts Sorbet to the next dimension. And at the same time, Goten proceeds to kill Frieza. After this, Goten convinces Whis to allow Vegeta and Junior to train with them. Sometime after, the group gets the Namekian Dragon Balls and revive everybody who died, during the fight. Bam! Golden Frieza arc done. Let's move on to the next arc. For the most part, the Champa arc pretty much starts off the same. The only difference is how they pretty much get to the idea of starting a tournament, with Junior pretty much mentioning that they should sell this the way his dad sold this, with a tournament. And yeah, it's kind of a stretch to get there, but we're getting there regardless. And so, with a tournament of Destroyer set, the last thing they need to do is gather the final member. And yes, I won't be using Monaka because Goten already has kind of inspiration to keep fighting since Vegeta and Cell are here. Goten tells the team that he already knows exactly who he wants the last member to be. Goten, with the help of Junior, heads to Earth and heads straight for Capsule Corp and speaks to Gohan, who's playing with Brock. Gohan isn't exactly thrilled about joining, but after a pep talk by Brock and Nappa and Vegeta's kid, who you guys wanted me to name Vegeta Jr., so that's what we're gonna keep it. So he's technically Vegeta the 5th. They pretty much tell him, oh, it'd be so cool if you joined. We get to see you fight at full power. And yeah, Gohan eventually gives in and agrees to fight. Goten, knowing that Gohan is a bit on the weaker side, decides to spend the remaining 3 days inside the Room of Spirit and Time, to get Gohan buffed up 3 years, Gohan, after spending 3 years with Goten, his base form would be around Majin Vegeta level. Chi-Chi does eventually find out about this on their way to the, to the nameless planet, and she gives big outrage. She's pretty much missed 3 years of her son's life. But Goten tries to calm down, tell her it's for the good of the planet. Eventually Chi-Chi does calm down, but it's not like immediate. From here, pretty much everything stays the same. They meet Kaba, they're like, oh, there's more Saiyans out there. And after that, they do the test in which everybody pretty much just passes, with Junior just barely passing. Now it's time for the actual tournament. Gohan is the first one up against Butama. The fight starts out with Gohan punching and kicking Butama, but after a bit, we find out that, he can't take any damage. So Gohan begins to rapidly punch Butama, and he begins to get faster and faster. Gohan then kicks him in the air, sending Butama out of the arena. And that's pretty much how Butama gets taken out. Up next is Frost, and Gohan is no match for Frost's first form, at least in his base form. Goten pretty much yells out from the stands that Gohan should stop messing around and finish this right now. So Gohan smiles and powers up to Super Saiyan 2. Gohan then rushes at Frost, and before Frost can hit him, Gohan goes between his legs, grabs Frost's tail, and begins to spin him round and round. Once he lets go of him, Gohan unleashes a massive Kamehameha, sending Frost flying into the border and pretty much falls off and hits the floor. This means that Gohan wins. But he claims to be too weak, that Kamehameha took a lot out of him. So Gohan heads back with the team, and Goten congratulates Gohan on his efforts, and Junior ruffles his hair, and be like, good job, kid, good job, as he steps up to fight Vegeta. Now, Junior versus Vegeta would play out similar to Vegeta's fight. The only thing is that Junior would find out about the whole insert quirk a lot sooner, since he would get a lot more impatient than Vegeta would, which means Junior wins. Kaba is the third opponent Junior will face, and after a little bit of a spar, Junior smiles at Kaba, telling him that he reminds me of what a young Vegeta could have been like. We then see Junior power up and pretty much start acting very sadistic, how he acted in the Cell games, and unlike Vegeta, who threatens to blow up, planet Sadala, Junior pretty much tells him he's gonna kill all his loved ones one by one, pretty much just being an ass about it. And then we get Super Saiyan Kaba, and Cell after that pretty much unleashes just a tiny bit of God Ki, since at this point he would have learned it since he's been training with Whis. Junior then proceeds to knock out Kaba and tell him to get good, and then they can fight again. And we finally get to the main man himself. Junior tells him that he's gonna make this quick since he's getting bored and everything. Everybody here's been pretty much a pushover. And almost immediately as the match starts, Junior is met with a barrage of pretty much invisible blows, which nearly cause him to land outside of the arena. But thanks to the Kai Kai, he's able to save himself. Meanwhile, the rest of the team gets the info on the hit's time skip thanks to the Galactic King. And after like 2 minutes of getting beat down, Junior is eliminated, and Vegeta steps into the ring. Vegeta starts off the fight in his ultimate form, pretty much knowing that, if Junior's being able to get beat up so easily, pretty much start all out. However, even with the help of the ultimate form, it still isn't enough for Vegeta to even get a win. So towards the end of the fight, Vegeta powers up to Super Saiyan God, which, at this point he would have it, at least, the basics of Super Saiyan God, which allows him to get a few hits on hit, but the time skip is still unbeatable, and Vegeta gets pretty much just taken out. And this means that Piccolo is up next, and he does do a bit better as he starts predicting Hit's movements. Not entirely, but somewhat. But Hit does still get the better of him. I mean, he still is stronger, and he's got the time skip on his side. So after Piccolo is eliminated, Goten steps up to the stage. But before he does, Piccolo telepathically tells him to try to predict Hit's movements, as that might be the key to victory, in this situation. Goten at the beginning of the fight, tries to keep his distance and analyze Hit. Even though Hit uses his time skip on Goten, he still tries to keep his distance, make sure Hit doesn't hit him. Although it does take him a bit, Goten is able to pretty much start predicting Hit's every movement. As Goten's pretty much got a good grasp on, Hit's movements, he powers up to Blue and pretty much starts to counter every move Hit's got. And unlike Goku, I don't think Goten would tell Hit that, he's pretty much figured out his fighting style, just to give Goten that extra leg up. I mean, Hit isn't dumb. He does eventually find out that, Goten can predict my moves now. Time to switch it up. However, before Hit, you can pretty much upgrade it past 1/5 of a second. They both end up knocking each other out. This effectively ends, the tournament on a draw, and the way the actual winner is gonna be decided is through rock paper scissors. And yeah, pretty much the first time goes to Universe 6 and Universe 7, and Universe 7 wins again. So yeah, I'm gonna end this part off with them pretty much setting up the tournament of power and two people running through a destroyed city, running from what seems to be this unknown black figure. Anyways, that's where I'm gonna leave it off for now. And yeah, so the next part obviously is gonna be the Goku Black arc. So I will leave a poll in the iCard on the top right corner on who does Goten fuse with in the Black arc. Since Goku's not around, I'm not gonna bring back Katen. So yeah, your choices will be Cell Jr., Jr., Vegeta, and future Gohan. So the choice is yours. I can pretty much already see who's gonna win, but yeah, the choice is yours. Anyways, all that YouTube stuff, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. See ya.